Why the poor get poorer and the rich get richer. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to build wealth effortlessly while others struggle just to get by, even when they start from the same place? It's a question that puzzles many, and today, we are going to explore it through the story of two boys, Daniel and Samuel. Daniel and Samuel grew up in the same small town, went to the same school, and started with similar family backgrounds. Both were smart, capable, and had dreams for the future. But as they grew into adults, their paths diverged dramatically. This story isn't just about money, it's about mindset. Let's start with their first jobs. Both boys earned a modest income. Daniel, seeing his paycheck, immediately thought about what he could buy. A new phone, brand name clothes, nights out with friends. He believed that looking successful was the first step to being successful. His money came in, and just as quickly, it went out. He was living paycheck to paycheck, but he felt like he was enjoying life to the fullest. He often said, "You only live once, right? Gotta enjoy the moment." Samuel, on the other hand, saw his paycheck differently. He saw it as a tool, a seed. He still covered his basic needs, but before anything else, he set aside a small portion, just 10%, into a savings account. It wasn't much, but it was a start. He also spent his evenings reading books about personal finance and investing. His friends sometimes teased him for being too serious, but Samuel had a different perspective. He believed that short-term sacrifices could lead to long-term freedom. As years passed, the gap between them began to widen. Daniel got a promotion and a raise. What did he do? He upgraded his lifestyle. He bought a fancier car with a bigger monthly payment and moved into a more expensive apartment. On the surface, he looked very successful. He had all the latest gadgets and took impressive vacations. But behind the scenes, he was drowning in debt. Any unexpected expense, like a car repair, sent him into a panic. He was trapped on what we call the hamster wheel, running faster and faster just to stay in the same place. Meanwhile, Samuel's small, consistent savings started to grow. Thanks to the magic of compound interest, his initial pot of money was slowly but surely multiplying. With the knowledge he gained from his reading, he began to invest. He started with low-cost index funds, a safe way to enter the market. He wasn't trying to get rich quick, he was playing the long game. His income also grew, but unlike Daniel, he kept his lifestyle modest. Instead of increasing his spending with every raise, he increased the amount he invested. This is where the real separation happens. Daniel was trading his time for money. If he didn't work, he didn't earn. His income was active. Samuel, however, was starting to build passive income. His investments were working for him, day and night, even while he slept. It started as a small stream, just a few dollars a month, but it grew steadily. He used this passive income to buy more assets, more investments that would generate even more income. He was creating a cycle of wealth. A decade later, the contrast was stark. Daniel was in his late 30s, still working a demanding job, stressed about his mounting credit card bills and car loans. He felt stuck, wondering why he worked so hard but never seemed to get ahead. He was a consumer, exchanging his hard-earned cash for things that lost value over time. Samuel, on the other hand, had achieved financial independence. He wasn't a flashy millionaire, but he owned his home outright, had a diversified investment portfolio that generated a comfortable living, and most importantly, he had options. He could choose to work on projects he was passionate about, not just for a paycheck. He could travel, spend more time with family, and live life on his own terms. He had become an owner, using his money to acquire assets that appreciated in value. The story of Daniel and Samuel illustrates a fundamental principle. The poor and middle class often work for money and spend it on liabilities, things that take money out of their pockets. The rich, or those with a wealthy mindset, have their money work for them by acquiring assets, things that put money into their pockets. It's not about how much you earn, it's about what you do with what you earn. Daniel's mindset was focused on immediate gratification and consumption. Samuel's mindset was focused on delayed gratification and investment. One mindset leads to a cycle of debt and financial stress, while the other leads to a cycle of growth and financial freedom. So, what can we learn from this? It starts with a shift in perspective. See your income not just as something to spend, but as a tool to build your future. Educate yourself about money. You don't need to be a financial genius, but understanding the basics of budgeting, saving, and investing is crucial. Start small. Just like Samuel, Putting aside even a small amount consistently can make a huge difference over time. And finally, focus on acquiring assets, not liabilities. The path to financial well-being isn't a secret reserved for a chosen few. It's a result of discipline, knowledge, and a long-term mindset. It's about choosing to be a Samuel in a world full of Daniels. Which path will you choose? Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that helps you build a better future. See you next time.